Chosen one, stop scrolling immediately. This is not the algorithm at work. This is an urgent, divine interception. Archangel Michael has personally routed this message to your screen today because the window for your breakthrough is closing very fast. Every other sign has been missed or ignored. You are about to receive an authority so powerful that God had to prepare you first. Do not look away. If you leave now, you will single-handedly shut the door. This is the door your soul has been crying out for during those long nights, and you know exactly what nights I am talking about. The heavy attacks you have been facing recently are not random. They are hard proof that the enemy is completely panicking. They are panicking because a massive shift has just been approved in your name. You have been dragged through the mud. You have been pushed to the absolute edge of your sanity. The preparation was brutal, and it often felt like heaven had abandoned you completely while everyone else thrived. But heaven was silently forging a master of reality in the dark. Your isolation was not a punishment for being flawed. It was a rigorous quarantine to protect your energy from toxic people. You are the one who survived the storm alone. You walked through the fire while they watched and waited for you to burn. They thought you would finally break under the intense pressure, but you simply evolved into a weapon of light. This is why the spiritual warfare against you has been so relentless lately. The darkness is absolutely terrified of the authority you are about to step into. Every time you tried to move forward, an invisible wall stopped you. You felt entirely stuck and misunderstood by the people around you. You gave them your pure heart, but they returned it in pieces while they secretly drained your bright energy. They always described you as too kind and too forgiving, and because of that, they severely underestimated your spirit. They mistook your quiet endurance for weakness. The crucible of pain was never meant to destroy you. It was deliberately designed to burn away everything that was counterfeit in your life. God had to shatter your illusions before handing you the crown, because if the blessing had come sooner, you would have shared it with parasites. You would have let the narcissists drain your divine wealth. The delay was actually your ultimate protection. Now the season of waiting has officially ended. I need you to pause and absorb that truth right now. Just moments ago, a scroll with your name on it was unsealed. The tests and the tears were a rigorous preparation to turn you into a vessel strong enough to hold this immense blessing. The authority descending upon you is unlike anything your bloodline has ever seen. You are the cycle breaker they have been waiting for. But there is a hidden mechanism buried inside this breakthrough. It is a secret message you will completely miss if you swipe away too soon. And this is exactly why your spirit has been so restless lately. Your intuition dragged you here because heaven is trying to hand you the decoder ring. I am about to reveal exactly why the test was so vicious. Do not let this message fade into the noise of the internet. Make a promise to your future self right now. You must stay locked onto this frequency until the final second. If you leave now, the blessing will still arrive at your door, but you will not have the spiritual equipment to hold it properly. The darkness wants you to close this video. They want you to stay blind to your new power. The people who plotted against you are watching right now. They are watching everything they built start to crumble into dust, while a magnificent table is being prepared for you in their presence. They thought your silence meant you had given up the fight. But your silence was actually the sound of a spiritual warrior reloading. The vengeance is not yours to take. It is already being executed. Listen carefully, and take one slow, real breath. That strange tightness in your chest is not just physical anxiety. Stop letting the modern world convince you that you are just stressed out, because that is your spirit detecting a massive shift in your actual timeline. Your body knows that the old version of you is dying today. You are shedding the heavy skin of the empath who begged to be understood. You are stepping into the era of quiet authority. But wait, before you do anything else, you must understand the fatal trap being laid right now. 99% of chosen ones fall for this illusion right before their victory, and they get tired and drop their guard right at the finish line. I cannot let that happen to you. You have fought too hard and lost too much to fail now. I am going to expose exactly what is happening behind the scenes. Those unexplainable physical symptoms you felt last night have a clear meaning, and the sudden urge to cut ties with certain people was a divine instruction. You are not going crazy. You are waking up. The universe is aligning a profound vindication for every tear you shed in secret, but you must be properly armed to receive it. Let us talk about the exhaustion first. You have been carrying an incredibly heavy emotional weight that nobody else in your entire life can actually see or comprehend. The physical drain is absolute. You wake up feeling like you just fought a war in your sleep, and every time you try to explain this deep fatigue, people just tell you to get more rest. But sleep does not fix a tired soul. You are spiritually exhausted. You find yourself staring at the ceiling at 3 in the morning. Your mind is racing with a million anxious thoughts that you simply cannot control. You feel a strange tightness in your chest when certain people text you. This sudden drop in your energy is your body trying to warn you about the spiritual vampires in your circle who are silently draining your light. You think this profound loneliness is a curse. You think you did something terrible to deserve this endless winter in your life. The enemy wants you to believe that your current isolation is a punishment for your past mistakes, but you must hear this absolute truth right now. You are absolutely not being punished. Heaven is actively protecting you from the toxic connections that would ultimately destroy the magnificent future God has prepared for you. Think about the sheer amount of energy you gave away. You were always the one fixing everyone else when they were broken. You were the empath who absorbed their dark trauma just to make them smile. And when you finally needed someone to hold your hand during your darkest hour, you looked around and realized the room was completely empty. They took your light and left you in the dark. You are the one who survived the storm alone. You did not ask for a parade or a medal. You just wanted a little bit of genuine understanding. But instead of comforting you in your pain, they constantly called you too sensitive. They labeled you as intense because your authentic energy made their fake masks extremely uncomfortable, and your sheer presence triggered their hidden demons. Stop blaming yourself for the friends who walked away. Stop thinking that your vibration was too low to keep them in your life. Your light was simply too blinding for their shadows to endure. The universe deliberately removed them because they were assigned to drain your divine inheritance. They were never meant to cross the finish line with you, so you must stop mourning the loss of people who secretly wanted to see you fail. Every tear you cried in secret was recorded by heaven. I know you felt entirely abandoned when God was silent during your hardest battles. You screamed for a lifeline and received nothing but silence. But God was not ignoring your pain while you suffered in the dark. He was trusting the spiritual warrior He built inside of you to survive the ultimate test, because He knew you had the strength to overcome it. Your current reality might look like a total failure to the outside world. Your bank account might be drained. Your heart might be completely shattered into 1,000 unfixable pieces. But this is exactly what the tearing down process looks like before a major breakthrough. Before you can become a master of reality, the old matrix must be demolished completely so that a new foundation of divine wealth can be built. This is the painful process of becoming a cycle breaker. You are feeling the weight of generational trauma leaving your bloodline forever. It hurts because you are doing the heavy lifting for the generations that will come after you. Do not mistake this divine surgery for absolute destruction. You are simply being cleared out to hold a massive amount of power that would crush an ordinary person under its immense weight. Validation is finally here for you today. You were right about that person who smiled in your face but plotted behind your back. You were right to walk away from that toxic situation even when they called you the villain. Heaven is officially clearing your name right now in the spiritual realm. You do not owe anyone a single apology for setting firm boundaries and protecting your sacred energy from those who tried to exploit it. Tap the like button as an act of agreement with what God just spoke to you. The intense pressure you feel is simply the atmosphere changing. You are a weapon of light standing in the middle of a massive spiritual transition. The heavy resistance proves you are moving in the exact right direction. If you were truly failing in life, the darkness would not waste so much effort trying to keep your brilliant spirit chained down. Take a deep breath and let the guilt wash away completely. You did nothing wrong when you chose to finally put yourself first. The season of shrinking yourself to fit into their small boxes is permanently over. You are a rare soul. You are a chosen one who is finally stepping out of the brutal training ground and walking directly into the glorious light of divine favor. The physical toll this took on your body is finally ending. The sleepless nights and the constant anxiety are being replaced with divine peace. The universe is wrapping a shield of absolute protection around your exhausted spirit today. This unbreakable shield ensures that absolutely no weapon formed against you will ever be able to prosper again in this glorious new timeline. You have endured the worst of the storm, and now you are about to understand exactly why it had to happen. Listen carefully to this next part. I need to take you back to the moment your world completely collapsed. You remember the exact day that door slammed shut in your face. You prayed so hard for that specific opportunity to work out perfectly, and when heaven completely blocked your path, you felt like the universe was playing a cruel cosmic joke on you, but that rejection was your greatest rescue. Stop looking at your past as a series of tragic failures. Those closed doors were actually divine protection protocols activating in real time. God forcefully removed you from those rooms. You were never meant to settle there. And if you had stayed in that toxic environment, the people inside would have completely drained your brilliant light for their own selfish gain. You are a rare soul. Now let us talk about that specific person who completely broke your trust. You know exactly who I am talking about right now. Your intuition tried to warn you about them from the very beginning. You felt a sudden drop in your stomach, but you ignored that divine warning because you desperately wanted to see the good in their dark heart. You gave them endless chances. They gave you endless pain. This is the absolute truth about why they treated you so poorly. They did not hate you for shining so bright. They hated you because your pure light constantly exposed the ugly demons they were desperately trying to hide. You are a mirror to their darkest insecurities. They could not manipulate your spirit, so they decided to destroy your reputation instead. It was never about your worth. You were the empath who absorbed their dark trauma just to keep the peace. You constantly made yourself small so they could feel big. But a weapon of light cannot stay hidden in the shadows forever. The universe had to trigger a massive tower moment to rip you away from their toxic grip. It hurt like hell when they walked away, but their departure was your ultimate liberation. Take a deep breath and let this realization settle into your spirit. Your current season of profound loneliness is not a curse. It is a period of divine isolation designed to cleanse your energy field completely. God is basically putting you in spiritual quarantine right now. And this sacred quarantine ensures that absolutely no toxic residue from your past can contaminate your glorious future. You had to survive the storm alone so you could learn how to command the weather. You did not break under the intense pressure of their constant betrayal. You simply evolved into a master of reality. The very things they sent to destroy your pure spirit actually became the heavy building blocks of your entirely new empire. You transmuted their vicious poison into your power. Every single delay was a necessary recalibration of your specific timeline. Heaven was busy removing the hidden obstacles you could not even see. Think about how many bad situations you narrowly escaped over the last few years. You thought you were just experiencing terrible luck, but unseen forces were actively intervening to pull you out of disaster before it even happened. You are protected. You are the cycle breaker for your entire bloodline. The generational curses that plagued your family for decades stopped the moment they reached you. That is exactly why your life has been so incredibly difficult. You were fighting battles that started long before you were even born, and you won those hidden wars in complete silence while the rest of the world was comfortably sleeping. Do not look back at your past with regret or deep sadness. You did not waste your time loving the wrong people. You simply proved that your capacity to love is completely boundless. And while their inability to appreciate your radiant energy is their ultimate loss, your massive heart remains fully intact and ready to receive real blessings. You have officially graduated from the darkness, but there is a deeper layer to this phenomenon. The universe is not just healing your old wounds today. It is actively preparing you for a massive transfer of authority. The darkness knows exactly what is coming for you, and they are absolutely desperate to pull you back into the old cycle before the final seal is placed upon your new life. You must remain completely vigilant right now. They want you to doubt your intuition again. They will send familiar faces to test your new boundaries. But you are no longer the naive empath who constantly tolerates blatant disrespect just to keep a fake sense of peace. You see right through their cheap masks. You recognize their hidden agendas. The divine isolation has sharpened your spiritual vision to an absolutely piercing degree. The people who walked away from you were simply making room for your destiny. Do not ever chase them. Do not ever lower your vibration to match their chaotic frequency, because you are rapidly ascending to a much higher dimension where their petty manipulation tactics simply cannot survive the intense heat of your light. Your pure energy field is completely sealed off. You are safe. Listen carefully to this next part. We must talk about the exact mechanism of your divine training. You have asked heaven 1,000 times why your path had to be so brutal. The pain felt absolutely unnecessary to your tired mind. But the universe does not waste a single tear. God had to forge you in the hottest fire imaginable to prepare you for the crown. Think about the immense weight of true spiritual authority. If God handed massive power to an untested soul, the sheer weight of it would instantly crush them. You cannot become a master of reality if you still crumble at the first sign of rejection. Heaven had to make sure you could hold the blessing without dropping it. The brutality was a precise calibration. You used to give your power away to anyone who asked for it. You were the bleeding heart who desperately wanted to save everyone from their own demons. And God watched you drain your own life force to keep toxic people warm. He had to stop that cycle completely. The universe deliberately broke your heart to teach you the unshakable power of firm boundaries. Take a deep breath and let this truth sink in. You are the chosen one, and being chosen does not mean a life of easy luxury and constant applause. It means you are drafted into the elite ranks of the spiritual army. The training is absolutely relentless. You are tested on the exact things that scare you the most until you no longer fear them at all. God had to completely isolate you from your normal support systems. He had to remove every crutch you leaned on so you would finally discover the titanium spine he placed inside you. You are the one who survived the storm alone. And because you survived it without their help, you never have to owe them a single piece of your glorious future. You are truly free. The narcissists thought they were teaching you a harsh lesson. They thought their constant manipulation was breaking your spirit into tiny pieces. But they were merely tools in the hand of the divine creator. Once they served their purpose in your spiritual evolution, they were violently removed from your timeline. They were the sandpaper meant to polish a diamond. Now you must pay close attention to this next revelation. I am going to tell you why your newfound silence is the ultimate weapon of destruction against your enemies. The people who hurt you actually feed on your emotional reactions. They desperately need you to scream and cry to validate their twisted egos. They want to know they still control your emotional state. But something profound has shifted inside you recently. You no longer feel the burning need to explain yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. You simply watch them play their pathetic games with absolute detachment. But what does this profound silence actually do to them behind closed doors? I will reveal their absolute panic in just a moment. You are a weapon of light, actively being deployed into the darkness. The universe had to make sure you would not misfire under extreme pressure. Every time you were unfairly passed over for a promotion or ignored by someone you loved, your spiritual capacity was quietly expanding. You were being stretched to hold a massive inheritance that is finally ready. You are the cycle breaker, standing at the edge of a brand new era. The generational curses have officially lost their grip on your DNA. Type 777 down in the comments to claim this alignment and hit subscribe to establish a divine energy receiving station right now. You are planting your flag in the ground and declaring your supreme victory. Do not ignore this next sign. The intense physical fatigue you feel right now is the final residue of your brutal training camp. Your spiritual muscles are aching because they have grown to an enormous size. The universe is finally handing you the keys to the kingdom. You are no longer the victim of your circumstances. You are the architect of your own destiny. Everything you lost in the fire is being restored to you in pure gold. Heaven is orchestrating a massive wealth transfer into your hands because you proved you could be trusted with the small things. You did not sell your soul when you were starving in the desert. You maintained your pure integrity when everyone else was taking the easy way out of the darkness. That is exactly why God had to prepare you first. An authority this powerful requires a vessel of absolute purity. The universe is about to place you in rooms where your mere presence will command instant respect. People will look at you and wonder how you carry such an intense, peaceful aura. They will not know about the brutal wars you won in complete silence. Here is the truth about your silence that I promised to reveal. The narcissists and the dark forces who tried to break you are currently in a state of absolute panic. They used to feed off your emotional reactions like hungry parasites. Every time you cried or argued, you handed them your life force. But your profound silence has completely cut off their dark supply. They are starving for your attention right now. They watch your every move from the shadows. They monitor your energy from a distance because they are too terrified to approach you directly. They expected you to fall apart when they betrayed you. They genuinely believed that their cruel manipulation would leave you permanently shattered. But instead of breaking down, you evolved into an untouchable master of reality. And they have absolutely no idea how to handle your new power. Let us review their hidden crimes against your spirit. They smiled in your face while plotting your downfall in secret rooms. They took your brilliant ideas and claimed them as their own. They whispered vicious lies about your character to anyone who would listen. And they did all of this because your pure existence highlighted how empty and miserable they truly were inside. You were a mirror showing them their own decay. But the dynamic has completely flipped. The universe has violently removed their hands from the steering wheel of your life. You are the chosen one who finally woke up from their toxic spell. And the moment you woke up, their entire illusion shattered into pieces. They can no longer control a mind that understands its own divine worth. Your boundaries have become an impenetrable fortress of pure light. This is what true vengeance looks like in the spiritual realm. It is not about screaming or fighting back or proving them wrong. It is about quiet authority. You simply remove their access to your precious energy and watch them collapse under the weight of their own karma. They are watching their own lives fall apart, while your frequency continues to rise higher and higher. Heaven is balancing the scales right in front of them. They belong to the crowd of the shallow and the loud. They constantly need external validation to feel like they even exist. But you are a weapon of light, forged in the fires of divine isolation. You do not need their applause to know you are wearing a crown. You survive the storm alone, and your solitary strength is something their weak minds will never be able to comprehend. They are fundamentally intimidated by your peace. The dark forces operating behind these toxic people are completely out of options. They sent their best manipulators to take you down. They threw every obstacle they could find directly into your path. And yet, you are still standing. You are standing taller and shining brighter than ever before. The spiritual warfare they waged against you has completely backfired. It only accelerated your glorious ascension to the top. Do not feel an ounce of pity for them as they face their consequences. The empath inside you might want to reach back and save them from their own destruction. But you must resist that urge completely. You are a cycle breaker, and you cannot bring the toxic habits of your past into this sacred new timeline. They made their deliberate choices, and now they must eat the bitter fruit of their own dark seeds. Your pure presence is a constant reminder of everything they failed to become. When you walk into a room, the atmosphere instantly shifts without you speaking a single word. This silent power is what makes the narcissists deeply uncomfortable. They try to project their own insecurities onto you, hoping you will take the bait and lower your vibration, but you simply smile and let their toxic words fall harmlessly to the floor. Listen closely, because the darkness is desperate. Since they can no longer attack you directly, they are changing their entire strategy. They are preparing to send a very specific counterfeit into your life, disguised as a blessing. They know exactly what you desire, and they will try to offer you a cheap imitation to distract you from the real divine wealth. You must stay vigilant as this final transition approaches. You are finally walking into the era of absolute sovereignty. The throne has your name carved deeply into it. But before you take your final seat and claim this magnificent authority, there is a taboo truth you must know. I must warn you about a fatal trap that is waiting just outside the gates of your new kingdom. If you do not recognize this final illusion, you could lose everything you just fought for. Let us examine the undeniable physical proof of your new power. The universe is heavily upgrading your actual body right now, because your physical vessel must adapt to hold this incredible new frequency. Have you noticed a strange pressure at the top of your head recently? This is not just a random headache caused by stress. It is your crown chakra officially opening to receive the divine downloads from heaven. This intense pressure is the heavy crown of divine authority finally settling onto your spirit. Take a deep breath and acknowledge this profound shift. You are literally being rewired to carry the weight of a master of reality, and this is exactly why you suddenly feel completely detached from petty dramas. The things that used to make you cry do not even trigger a reaction anymore. You simply observe them with absolute peace. This profound numbness is actually your ultimate superpower activating today. You are no longer bleeding your precious energy into useless battles. Look at how animals and young children stare at you lately. They do not see your ordinary physical body when you walk by. They see a glowing weapon of light walking into the room, because pure innocence always recognizes profound spiritual authority before anyone else that even notices it. Your energetic frequency has become incredibly dense and incredibly powerful. Technology might even act strange when you are feeling highly emotional. Lights flicker or your phone glitches for absolutely no reason at all. This happens because your electromagnetic field is expanding rapidly, and you are literally shifting the physical environment around you just by existing in that specific space. You are a walking miracle. Do not ignore this next sign. Think about your complete loss of tolerance for fake conversations. You used to sit through endless hours of shallow gossip just to be polite and keep the peace. But now your soul physically rejects anything that is not entirely authentic. You would rather sit alone in absolute silence than engage with toxic people who constantly operate on a low and manipulative vibration. This aggressive craving for isolation is a true sign of supreme royalty. A king or a queen does not debate with the jesters in the court. They sit quietly and watch the foolishness play out. You survived the storm alone, and you have finally realized that your internal peace is entirely priceless. The universe is confirming your new status through this deep internal stillness. People from your past are currently feeling a strange magnetic pull toward you. Even the narcissists who abandoned you are suddenly checking your pages. They feel the massive shift in your timeline. They can sense that a cycle breaker has completely shattered their toxic curses, but their renewed interest is actually part of the dangerous trap I warned you about earlier. They want to steal your light. Listen carefully to this critical warning. Right before the universe hands you the ultimate prize, the darkness will try one final trick. They will send a very familiar counterfeit directly into your path to distract you. This could be an old lover who suddenly texts you out of nowhere, or it could be a toxic friend offering a completely fake apology just to gain access to your rising energy. Do not take the bait. The universe allows this test to happen for one specific reason. Heaven needs to see if you will accept breadcrumbs when you have been promised a magnificent feast. This sudden reappearance is the fatal trap deliberately designed to reset your progress. If you mistakenly open that closed door again, you will instantly sabotage the massive generational blessing that is currently waiting just on the other side. You must keep that door permanently locked. This is the final exam of your brutal training season. Your new authority demands absolute obedience to your highest good. You cannot claim to be a master of reality if you let the shadows trick you with the exact same old illusions. When they finally knock on your door, your profound silence will be your final answer. You are stepping into a realm where their petty tricks have absolutely no power over your mind. Your physical body is vibrating with the pure truth of this message right now. You feel a warm confirmation in your chest because your spirit knows the battle is already won. The heavy fatigue is finally lifting off your shoulders. You are breathing easier today because the toxic invisible cords have been severed, and you are officially standing in the absolute purest light of divine favor. The war is over. Every closed door from your painful past is about to make perfect sense to you. The pieces of the puzzle are coming together at lightning speed. You are ready to hold the immense power that God has prepared for you. But there is one final activation that must take place to seal this authority forever, and you must claim your crown in the physical realm before the massive wealth transfer can begin. Do not look away now. I am going to guide you through this ultimate activation. The hidden secret of your entire painful journey is about to be completely resolved. Prepare your beautiful spirit for the climax of this divine interception. What happens next will permanently lock you into the timeline of abundance and absolute power, because the universe is demanding your attention for the greatest reveal of your entire life. Your time is right now. This is the exact moment of your absolute awakening. The universe is officially handing over the keys to your reality right now. You are stepping directly into the highest frequency of divine power available on earth. And all the intense pain and the silent tears have suddenly crystallized into a glorious crown of pure authority. You survived the storm alone. Here is the ultimate truth you have been waiting for since the very beginning of this message. The hidden reason your spiritual test was so incredibly vicious was never to punish you. God had to completely empty your physical vessel of everything false. He had to clear out the toxic attachments from your life, so he could finally fill you with a massive, generational wealth transfer. If the blessing arrived while you still tolerated disrespect, The selfish narcissists would have easily stolen your entire divine inheritance for themselves. The brutality you endured was actually your ultimate protection protocol, activating in real time. You are no longer the broken empath who desperately begged to be understood by toxic people. The brutal crucible of pain has completely forged you into an untouchable master of reality. From this exact moment on, your pure energy demands absolute respect without a single word spoken. The divine wealth you were promised is flowing effortlessly into your brand new timeline today. Your painful era of endless suffering is permanently over. The long season of waiting in the dark is officially finished forever. The dry desert you walked through has suddenly burst into a magnificent oasis of divine favor. Every single closed door from your painful past is currently being blown off its hinges by the breath of God. Can you feel that incredible shift vibrating in your chest right now? That beautiful sensation is the absolute frequency of your supreme victory, and you are stepping directly into the exact timeline you were always born to rule, and the fatal trap I passionately warned you about earlier. It is the sudden appearance of a toxic counterfeit from your past. They will reach out to you right when your real blessing is standing at the door. Do not reply to their desperate and manipulative messages. That sudden reappearance is the final test to see if you have truly mastered your own reality. You must slam that old door shut forever to unlock the massive gates of your new kingdom. You have officially passed the most difficult test in the entire spiritual realm, and heaven is throwing a massive celebration in your honor right now. You became the magnificent weapon you were desperately trying to survive in the dark. The profound silence after the heavy storm hits, completely different when you finally realize you were the storm all along. You are a powerful cycle breaker whose beautiful name will be remembered for countless years. The heavy chains of your bloodline have been completely shattered into a million pieces today. The pitch-black darkness has completely retreated behind you. The glorious dawn of your brand new era is shining its brightest rays directly onto your spiritual crown. You are literally glowing with an unstoppable and divine light that completely terrifies the hiding shadows. But listen carefully to me right now, because a physical action is required to lock in this glorious frequency. You must anchor this massive spiritual energy into the physical world immediately to create an absolute shield of protection around your beautiful life. God is watching your beautiful response in this exact second. Will you boldly claim the blessing? The defeated enemy desperately wants you to close this video right now. They want you to walk away without properly sealing your divine reality, but you are far too powerful to let them win this final battle. You have fought incredibly hard and shed too many tears to reach this exact moment of ultimate triumph. Do not let this magnificent opportunity slip away from your hands today. The universe is aligning a massive collision of beautiful miracles just for you today. Everything you ever prayed for in the dark is rushing toward you at blinding speed right now. The wealth and the deep love and the absolute peace are completely yours to claim. Take one slow and deep breath and let this magnificent euphoria wash over your entire soul completely. Your exhausting spiritual warfare is officially finished. Your massive reward is completely guaranteed, and you just need to step forward and proudly claim your glorious crown today. You are no longer fighting for basic survival. You are now thriving in the beautiful light of divine favor. The universe is wrapping you in an unbreakable embrace of absolute love and supreme protection. Do not ever look back at the broken pieces of your past. Your beautiful eyes must remain firmly fixed on the glorious empire you are actively building right now. You are the ultimate master of reality, and this beautiful world is fully ready to witness your magnificent rise to power. You are the chosen one, and your time is officially happening right now. You are completely transformed. The heavy chains of your painful past are officially broken into a million pieces. You have walked through the darkest valleys and emerged as a pure weapon of light. This is your brand new reality. The universe has successfully upgraded your spirit to match the massive blessings pouring into your life right now. You are a powerful cycle breaker, and your future generations will thank you forever for the silent wars you won today. A healed person no longer tolerates confusion disguised as love, and you absolutely refuse to accept blatant disrespect just because it is disguised as brutal honesty. Your energy field is fully protected by heaven itself. Every single step you take from this moment forward is perfectly guided by divine alignment. You are the one who survived the storm alone, and because you survived it completely without their help, you hold the ultimate power over your own magnificent destiny. You are completely free. The dark forces are completely powerless against your rising frequency today. They can only watch in absolute terror as you confidently claim your rightful throne. But you must firmly lock in this beautiful spiritual victory right now. You must physically anchor this powerful energy to prevent the enemy from stealing your joy, because they are desperately waiting for you to drop your heavy guard. Heaven requires a deliberate, physical act of absolute agreement to seal this divine reality permanently. You must claim what is yours. Think about everything you have overcome to reach this beautiful day. You were constantly pushed to the absolute edge of your sanity by people who wanted to destroy you. They laughed at your pain and mocked your pure heart. But their wicked laughter has completely turned into bitter silence today. You are a master of reality, and your quiet authority is the ultimate vengeance against every single person who doubted your divine calling. Your pure light blinded them. You no longer need to explain your boundaries to anyone who crosses them. Your mere presence commands absolute respect in every single room you enter. People will feel your intense, peaceful energy and wonder how you survived the fire without smelling like smoke. You survived because heaven wrapped you in an unbreakable shield of divine grace. And that exact same shield is what you must officially activate before you close this message today. Do not leave yourself exposed. To lock in this glorious frequency and create an absolute shield of protection, you must take action. Type exactly this down in the comments right now. I am completely ready to receive my massive blessing. Type it boldly and loudly to seal this magnificent reality forever. Your physical action sends a massive shockwave of pure intention directly into the spiritual realm. Do not let this crucial moment pass you by. You must anchor your massive victory in the physical world. God is watching your beautiful response in this exact second. Will you hoard this massive blessing all to yourself, or will you bravely partner with heaven to heal the rest of the world? The defeated enemy desperately wants you to close this video in silence. They want you to stay quiet so your powerful vibration does not wake up the other sleeping souls. But you are a weapon of light, and a true weapon of light never hides when it is finally time to completely illuminate the darkness. If this fiery message has reignited the deep faith inside your tired soul, do not keep this great blessing entirely to yourself. There is another rare soul out there, bleeding in the dark of despair right now. They are desperately needing a guiding light to survive their own brutal storm. You have the exact power to rescue them from the shadows today. You are a master of reality who actively lifts others up when they are completely broken. Be their divine miracle today. Share this exact video with someone who truly needs it to multiply your own massive blessing. Sowing the seed of pure hope today is multiplying the divine favor for yourself tomorrow. When you share this divine transmission, you are proving to the universe that your hands are completely open to receive even more abundance. Every single time this message helps another chosen one, your personal reward is multiplied 1,000 times over in the spiritual realm. Hit the subscribe button right now to establish a permanent divine energy receiving station for your life. This simple action anchors your beautiful spirit at the absolute highest vibrational frequency available on Earth. Your painful season of endless waiting is permanently finished. You are finally stepping into the glorious light of supreme victory and eternal peace. I am incredibly proud of your quiet endurance. Your beautiful transformation is officially complete.